Let's just get right into our first exercise. Standing up, we'll put all the weight onto the left foot, right leg extends forward, and we lift the right leg up, put it back down. Lift it up, put it back down. Repeat again and again, just kind of at your own pace. Leg goes up, leg goes down. That's it. So it's simple, but not necessarily easy. If balance is a bit of an issue, feel free to put your hand against a wall or a chair to help the balance. Or maybe you want to use that as kind of a multitasker. So keep going. Leg goes up, leg goes down. Almost done. It's one of those ones that isn't too challenging, but over time, the returns are amazing. Just a few more seconds. And other side. I like to do a little shake out there. Between sides, so standing on the right leg this time, left leg extends forward. And begin. Leg goes up, leg goes down. Keep going. At your own pace, try to go at the same pace as the first side. And while you're there, standing up nice and tall, try to keep the legs as straight as possible, both of them. And while we're here, so this is working the entire front side of the leg, but also deep within the core. So the iliopsoas muscle, the psoas, one of my favorite muscles, if you can have such a thing, but it really is kind of the secret. So this is why we're doing this exercise. It's quite amazing how much this helps when we do this exercise. So scooping the belly in while we do leg goes up, leg goes down. That's my official name for this exercise. Almost done. Standing up tall. And relax. Next up, a little bit of core. So just regular, good old crunches. So only do this if it's applicable for you or safe for you. Belly scoops in, and we just rock a little bit. Shoulders come off the floor. You don't need to make very big movements, actually. Mine are a little bit too much. Nothing bad happens if you move too much like I'm doing here, except that you get tired faster because it's a little bit harder. So for me, about halfway through, I went, oh, wow. A little more fatigued than I had hoped to be by that point. So just little movements, just rocking. So like I was saying about if it's appropriate for you, if you've given birth recently, if you have had a pregnancy, or if you just know that you have a diastasis, like a separation of the abdominal muscles, this is a really challenging version of a core strengthener. So there's other alternatives. If this is too much for you, do a different core strengthener, maybe a plank, just pulling the belly in, taking rest when you need, and then hopping back in when you can. So again, in this one, it's really important we want to use the abdominal muscles correctly. So scoop the belly in strongly, press that belly down towards the floor, and keep going. So you want to feel that small fire in the belly. Resting when you need to, hopping back in when you can. You can place the fingertips behind the head, trying not to support the head too much with it, but that strength in the front of the neck is really important too. It's good for thyroid, good for just keeping the neck strong and lean, and neck muscles actually help you with other poses as well. So this is a bit of a multitasker. Best to just relax when you need to. Hop back in when you can. And we're done. Come on up to seated. So I like to roll over to the right side, take my time. And then all the way up to standing. Guess what? We get to repeat the leg goes up, leg goes down rigmarole. So, standing on the left, extend the right, and begin when you're ready. Leg goes up, leg goes down. Leg goes up, leg goes down. Keep going. So even more this second round, press down into the floor with the supporting foot and feel like there's a button on the ceiling that you're trying to press with your head. The crown of your head presses up to the sky. At the same time, belly scoops in and up, but also remember to breathe, maybe even smile a little, because we're almost done this side. This is one that's, you might feel it tomorrow, but it's so beneficial. So this is core as well. It kind of feels mostly leg, but that psoas muscle is deep within the core. And other side. Shaking it out a little between sides if you need to. I always do. Standing on the right, extend the left. And begin. Leg goes up, leg goes down. Trying to keep both legs as straight as possible. Lifting up tall. With the arms out to the sides, it just helps the balance a little bit. I like to try and work on balance as I'm working on my psoas muscle. So having those arms out to the sides just helps a little bit. Pressing down into that supporting foot. Almost done. Crown of the head reaches for the sky. Holding on. Last few seconds here. And relax. Heading back down onto the floor for another core exercise, laying all the way back, and then extend the legs up to the sky. Then lower the legs a little bit, keep the belly scooped in. Cross right in front of left, just at the ankles, and then scissoring, so legs open, legs close, switching sides. Open, close, switching sides. Open, close, switching sides. Keep going at your own pace. So step the legs apart and crisscross. Apart, crisscross, apart, crisscross. Keep going. And the whole time, the same thing with your crunches. Belly scoops in, press it down towards the floor. It's a little bit hard, actually. It's a bit challenging to keep that belly scooped in and pressing down. It wants to push outward. It's kind of a funny thing. The abdominal muscles, they feel strong when they push outward, but we want them to be used in an anatomically correct way so that we don't get a diastasis, which is just the abdominal muscles separating. We want to avoid that. Pull them in, pull them together. Keep going. We're almost done. Of course, breaking if you need to. You can hug the knees in during little breaks and then begin again when you need to, except we're all done for this one. Yay! We'll head up to standing once again. I like to roll over onto my right side, just pause for a second and then slowly get up. You can see I'm actually smiling there. That's because I'm like, oh, this video is almost done, because this is really difficult. But yay, getting stronger. Guess what we get to do again? Stand on the left, extend the right, forward, arms go up, and begin. Leg goes up, leg goes down. Keep going. So you may see a pattern forming here, but don't worry, this is the last, whatchamacallit, last round of these silly ones. Leg goes up, leg goes down. Keep going. That third go around is fun, hey? Just gets funner with each repetition. Oh, but it's so good for you. You'll thank me later, I promise. Almost done. Keep going. So lifting up nice and tall, especially if you're getting fatigued. This whole video is super duper short, so we're almost done. Hang in there. Belly scoops in, pressing down into the floor. Your leg doesn't have to go very high. Just a little bit. Leg goes up, leg goes down. And relax. Other side. Here we go. Left leg goes up, left leg goes down. Keep going. So same thing again, standing up nice and tall. Press down into the floor with that supporting foot, and the top of the head reaches for the sky. Keep going. Almost done. So last time, last side. Last few moments. Scoop the belly in just a little bit stronger for those last few moments. And almost done. Almost. And we're done. Shake that out. Heading back down to the floor for our last core exercise. So laying all the way back. This one is similar to the last one that we did, but it's a little bit funner. Legs go up high to the sky, crisscross right in front of the left, then lower the legs all the way down until they almost touch the floor and come all the way back up again. Crisscross other side. Legs go down, legs go up. Change sides. So they just cross at the ankle, just a little bit of a crisscross. Keep going at your own pace. Same thing again, really scoop the belly in, press it down towards the floor. I like to use my arms as well in this one, just a little bit. I kind of use them like I press down into the floor with my palms, but I actually am clasping onto the outer edges of my yoga mat. I've got a blanket just on standby in case I need it right in front, so you might not be able to see my hands, but I do sort of a little hang on to my yoga mat as my legs go down and my belly scoops in. It just is a little bit of, helps with just a little bit of leverage. So you can do the same if you like. Scooping the belly in strong, and we're done. Hug the knees in. Take a moment. Rolling over onto the right side. Pause for a moment. And come on up. From here, we are all done our strength work. Let's head into a low lunge just to stretch that out. So left knee onto something squishy, right leg forward. And then pop those back toes off the floor. Find those toes with the opposite hand, or maybe a strap if you're not quite there yet. So this is, it's not a traditional yoga pose. It's kind of a modification of a yoga pose. I call it gecko. But whatever you call this pose, or this position, or this stretch, it's kind of the greatest of all time. Best pose ever. It's such a good multitasker. But lengthening out through the front of those quads feels amazing. Actually, it feels terrible the first 5 seconds, and then it feels amazing. Trying to relax into it. So we're only here a minute. Softening and melting. And remember to breathe. That allows all the oxygen to go to the muscles. And release, and slowly change sides. So take your time. And placing something squishy beneath that right leg. Left leg goes forward. And when you're ready, popping those back toes off the floor, finding them with the opposite hand. There's a tendency sometimes for the back leg hamstrings to cramp. You might notice when I head into this pose, I flex my foot as the knee bends, and then I kind of point the toes at the last second as I go to catch the toes. That helps prevent cramping in the hamstrings. That tends to not happen as you get more flexible. The knee just sort of bends on its own, a little bit less effort. But in the meantime, that little flex the foot till the last moment trick helps pretty good. Softening and melting. And release. Heading into our final stretch of this entire video, and it's a really nice one, heading into a forward fold seated. I like to sit up on something. So legs go forward. You can keep the ankles together or step them apart just a little bit. I like to put a little bit of space, and all we're doing is leaning forward. So this is not specifically Paschimottanasana where you are active. This is more of a yin pose, and we're trying to soften and relax in the hamstrings, so the backs of the legs, just letting them soften. And we're here for a little bit, so make yourself cozy. If you have blankets or cushions or pillows or something, it's sometimes nice to just even put the pillows on your legs and then put your head on the pillows. Or maybe blocks, a block between the knees, and place the forehead on the block. You might need 2 blocks. In other words, make yourself as comfortable as possible in this one. There is a time and a place to exert and use energy, and this is not one of those times. This is one of those times you get to relax completely. And it's actually beneficial to not use any muscle, to not grip anything anywhere, but instead relax literally everything. So the neck, the shoulders, the legs, even the toes, just letting them relax. And trying your best to remain still. So stillness is very important for these yin style stretches. I am a fidgeter, so it's every ounce of effort for myself to relax. It's focus, and over time it gets a little easier. If you're also a fidgeter, just know it gets better. And by now you should maybe even feel like you've got a little bit more space. If not, try to relax even more. Allow those spaces that feel the stretch to soften and lengthen. If and when they do, allow yourself to move a little deeper into the pose. Maybe the hands walk a little bit forward. And for those last few moments here, playing the edge, not pushing past it, but just see how far the body will allow you to go. Maybe a deep breath here. And we're all done. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.